There's reshoots on a movie. Who would have thought it? That's right. James Gunn addresses. Take it easy, everybody. Yes, there are reshoots, and we'll discuss it. And he explains exactly why. So, he's a director that is being celebrated for everything that he's been doing. You know who's a director that should have been celebrated? And the Golden Globes prove what a goofy organization they are? Denis Villeneuve doesn't get nominated for Dune. Boo. Princess Bride. Boo. Your whole organization and your awards thing is a joke. Boo. So stupid. To anyone to not, the fact that he does not get nominated is the stupidest thing. And I've always not minded the Golden Globes. Goofball show is what that is. And we'll discuss that and more. It's myself and John Rocha here today on the show. So join us. We got more to talk about. And we're talking about the box office and what happened and all that and more. So that's it. Kristian Harloff Show. Let's do it. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thanks for being here today. Bye. Show a little clash. Jump right off the window. Perfect. Knew that was going to happen. Joining me on the show is John Rocha. Perfect. It was like that's like when Rey Mysterio fell off the back of the thing.
Nothing but the best set designers. Nothing but the best pros in building your studio, buddy boy.
Ever. Anyway, so there you go. And then I've got my glasses that fell somewhere, but we got more stuff to talk about. But your theory was proven to be piss last week. You said a single person.
Which one? I've got like 10 every week. Which one?
You said a single person couldn't win the contest. Well, Roxy did it last week.
I thought Roxy was on with Makuga. Wasn't she on with Makuga?
She was supposed to be on with Makuga, but he didn't show up. He wasn't able to show up. Not only because of his kid. He wasn't. Sure. So it was just him. It was him by himself. Her by herself.
Respect.
And then Steph couldn't do it. Steph got wrecked last week. That was the first one she ever got beat. And Winston and Coy got very close, but they did not do it. So let's see if you can.
Really, Coy's on the new DC show. You would think that would put him. I would think with being on a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers, being on your channel with 150,000 subscribers, being on a new DC show, which is getting a lot of buzz and attention. I don't understand why Coy can't win every week. It's a little shocking to me. And you've got the black vote with Winston and Marshall. So to me, I think you've locked up all the sections. I don't understand.
168,000. Okay. So let's that's right. So let's
excuse me.
168. But we got a lot. It's funny because we're working on we have that clips channel that we put up, and UAP channel is doing pretty good. And Matt Serra, we just started kind of putting stuff out in his channel. We just launched a clip on Matt Serra's channel, but where Frank Mir was talking about the Brock Lesnar fight, and it's doing pretty well. It did over like 40,000
nice.
So it's doing good.
People still have interest in that crazy dude. So
Frank Mir?
No, I'm talking
Brock. Yeah. Well, he was talking about about just that in general, but he told a great story about his wife. His wife was pissed, and rightfully so. When you listen to him, I get why, but he was basically the extent of the clip is that his wife was furious because Mir at the time was a former UFC heavyweight champion. It was Brock Lesnar's first fight at the UFC, and Mir entered first.
So I thought it was an insult, right?
And Frank was like, it is what it is. She was pissed, and when you really look at it, I understand both sides of it. I understand why you'd be upset with it, because this is the former UFC champion. He was kind of like on a up and down thing. They probably were sending him in to get slaughtered, So and then Brock's the draw,
exactly.
So you get it, but it's like you could. I do not fault her for being upset.
Yeah.
So that clip's on there. He's great to listen to. Both of those guys. I was in awe, dude. I was sitting right where I'm sitting now, and Matt was over there, and they're talking, and I'm just like listening to these two jiu-jitsu masters talking. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, guys have been in the trenches. Guys have been in battle, whether it's on an actual battlefield or in a ring. They're fascinating to listen to because they're speaking about an experience that 95% of the world will never experience. Nope. And they speak about it so knowledgeably and so insider baseballery that you're just like so caught up in it because you're getting the analysis that you're not going to necessarily get on TV or anyplace else, and it's fascinating.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So anyway, so we have a lot to discuss here, John. And as I was going through it, because Luke and I were going around this morning, we were thinking about which topics. He helps me with the topics in the morning.
Nice.
And he had suggested a couple. I'm like, I don't know. And then the Golden Globes, I said, yeah, we'll cover it, but I don't know if I want to lead with it. And like, we haven't talked about this reshoot stuff.
Oh yeah.
And people are making such a thing about this reshoot stuff. And so I wanted to bring it up, and so we will. And here it is. This is the story. And I stick to it. James Gunn, he responds to Superman movie shoots, reports, and explains what exactly will be filmed. Screen Rant. DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn responded to fan concerns regarding reports that his film Superman is undergoing reshoots. Set for release on July 11th, the movie stars David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Edie Guthrie, Frank Grillo, and Nathan Fillion, among others. Superman will be the debut film of the DC Universe, a new continuity held by Gunn and Peter Safran after the DC Extended Universe franchise was canceled. Recently, The Hollywood Reporter shared that production would be refilming in Los Angeles this week. As a result, a fan reached out to Gunn on Threads to verify the news, to which you see that thread there. James Gunn says, sort of, not a few days. We're doing a day and a half of pickup shots. No scenes, no reshoots, just a handful of individual shots to enhance the film. Per Gunn, the rumors are sort of true, but the reports are missing context and exaggerating by referring to the film as lasting a few days. The director explained, we're doing a day and a half of pickup shots, yada, yada, yada. What James Gunn's filming comments mean, as Gunn more or less stated, filming additional pickup shots is not the same as redoing portions of Superman. There is no cause for alarm because the need for pickup shots usually indicates more of a need to smooth out the final cut of the film. Moreover, these kinds of shoots are much less involved than standard filming. And yeah. Okay, this didn't just really analyze these comments, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
There's two types of reactions to reshoots that are valid, and there's ones that are ridiculous.
Okay.
These land in the ridiculous.
Which ones? His reaction or the people's reaction?
No, the people's reactions.
Okay.
To the fact that Superman's getting reshoots. Oh my God! See, it's not as perfect as you think. There was a when I released Frank Grillo's clip of him talking about the Superman trailer, and then some bozo wrote on the comments like, "Oh, if it was so good, why'd you have to go back and get your notes and you have to reshoot the whole thing?" And it's like, that's just people not listening to what's being said. There are times you'll agree, whether you're agreeing with me right now or not, but you will agree that every film inside of their budgets there's always reshoots every single time. James Gunn is as I said to Frank Grillo, he is the studio notes. Normally, the director will have to go, okay, here's my cut, and they'll go, hey, we don't like this, or this. Can you do this, reshoot that, do that? Right. He didn't have to do that, except when he's watching it over as a creative, he probably goes, you know what would really work here? A shot of so-and-so doing this and this. Do we have it? We don't have it. Can we get it? Probably. How long would it take us? Day and a half? All right, so what do we need? We need this, and this. And that'll only take us like a day and a half to fill those little things in. Like, those are the things I'm imagining, and those are the things I need to, like, smooth it out. Now, if it was like, oh, this entire scene is weighing down the film, we need, like, 3 weeks to smooth this whole thing out, then you can go, okay, still not catastrophe, but you say, okay, that might have really hurt the film if they didn't change it. So I think this is a big, fat nothing burger. What do you think?
I think there's more nuance here to dissect. And the reason I bring this up is because we talked about it on the hot mic, and some of these people commented on the hot mic as if, like, we don't know how filmmaking is done, which cracks me up. These people thinking they know more than Jeff and I about filmmaking. But the thing that we were trying to stress, and at least I was trying to stress from my point of view, and hopefully I can stress it even more strongly this time around, is that reshoots are standard on all the big movies. So it's no surprise that there might be reshoots or whatever he's claiming they are. My issue comes with a little bit of James Gunn's hubris around this, right? When he was asked about reshoots a few months ago, he goes, I don't think there'll be a need for it. I've only done one reshoot on my last 2 films. And then when he was asked why, he delivered this 6-point plan where he somehow had figured out filmmaking beyond any other filmmaker, which means he could never do reshoots, or he would never need to do reshoots, or if he does, it's like a pickup shot, like he's claiming. So to me, I think he got caught yet again in a little bit of his hubris. And I think that's where people are more coming after than reshoots. We all know that's standard in the business. I think it's more a matter of he claimed, I don't see that I would need to do reshoots. I've only done 1 day of reshoots last 2 films. He was bragging about that and then stressed the 6 points he did as if Denis Villeneuve wouldn't have come up with this. Like it was a little bit of hubris on his part. And we're seeing that come out in certain ways. And everyone's like, oh, I love that James is on social media. That's also hubris to a degree. And so I think this is where we're getting into a situation where it seems a little weird that he keeps talking about this and people are waiting to grab him on it. That's what it is.
I think there are certain people that you've got your dukes up for all the time. You've got your dukes up for all the time, whether it's James Gunn.
I love James.
Maybe not to the same extent. Jennifer Lopez, The Rock. There are certain people that you are ready to, and right now, James Gunn is on that list for you. I disagree with those comments that you just made because I don't think that those are reshoots. I think they're pickups. I think I think there's a difference between, I don't have to go back and reshoot anything. I don't have to go back and do that because he's not also, I don't think it's hubris. He's saying because I'm the one that's calling the shots. I understand. I knew what I need to do. I knew what I had to put together. I don't think he was comparing himself to Denis Villeneuve and all those other people as far as
I'm just saying the hubris.
I know, but I don't think that that's what his intent was at all. I think it was saying like, I don't need to do that stuff because I put together my plan, and I think that it was more so intended to say, have confidence in me, guys, because I know what I'm doing here, and I have this for you guys, and I'm putting this out there, and I have these things shot, and it's like, and there's, you can probably call him out if you wanted to, if it was like I mentioned before. He's like, you know what? I was wrong. I got about a month of reshoots that we have to do here and put things out. And those are, well, I thought you didn't need reshoots. I thought you had the movie in the bag. Pickup shots and saying like, oh, I wish I would have had a tree there or something there or a character shot there instead. That's not a reshoot. That's a pickup shot. And,
right. And I agree with you. But who's going to be on set to verify this, Kristian? Who's going to be on set to see like, okay, yes, this is totally a reshoot or this is totally a pickup shot? No one's going to do it. So he can make these comments freely, but because who's going to cross James Gunn? He's so powerful now that if you believe the narrative, the Creature Commandos animators animated him into the opening of Creature Commandos, supposedly without James Gunn knowing, and they surprised him with it as a thank you. That kind of cult-like sycophancy.
Oh, come on.
That I have an issue with. I have an issue with that stuff.
Are you kidding me?
I love you to death. I would never sketch your face. Even if I could draw, I would never sketch your face and surprise you with it.
Did you see, but that's different though, but did you see the way Frank Grillo was talking about this guy when it came to, but no, it's not, of course. Frank Grillo is not that type. There are some people, granted, we've interviewed them, that love every director that they've worked with because they don't want, because they're brown nosing and they're doing this and that ain't Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo Frank was, over the moon in this guy and talking about how he's always been an actor's director and people respond to the guy. I mean, look at the way Dave Bautista went to bat for him when all that shit went down. People love the guy, and it has nothing to do, I think with sycophant stuff. I think it's a matter of them going, this guy does really care, and I think he treats his crew right. And I think from everything that I've ever heard about him, people like to be on set with the dude. So if the animators are like, and I think it was the throwback to the old school, what was the NBC thing we used to see the dude on the
it's Stephen J. Cannell.
And I think it was a throwback to that. So I don't think I think, as I'm telling you, he's on your list. He's on your list.
Yeah, but he could have said no, take that out. He could have said that. No, I appreciate the gesture, guys. Thank you for doing that. It's really kind of you to do that, but I don't need to be seen like that on the show. No, he left it in there.
Sure.
And so, listen, two things can be true. He can be very good to his actors and very good to the people and that he works with. And I think that's very true because you never hear a cross word about James Gunn from anybody who works with him. But the other side of it is he could also have a very large ego that allows him to achieve the success that he achieves.
But wait a minute.
Occasionally, when I sense it, I call it out.
Let me ask you an honest question about yourself.
Sure.
About yourself. When you were at the height of your powers in the Schmodown, when you were like
Did I have power in the Shmodown?
When you were like the guy, when you had the top merch, when everybody was talking about the Outlaw, you think you had an ego at that time? No. So you better answer correct.
Well, what's the definition of that?
You tell me.
I never tried to strong arm you into anything.
That's not what I asked you. I said, did you have a big ego at the time?
I believed in myself, yes, and I did have an ego in myself.
Right, of course.
Yes, but I also wasn't going. Well, was I? I don't know. I did occasionally call you out when you didn't put me into a video montage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I didn't say to you, you better put me in this, and you better use this clip.
Did he say that?
No, I don't know if he did. I don't know.
Okay, so this is my point.
I wasn't there.
My point is when you have a certain level of success and in general, and I, by the way, I do not fault you for having an ego at that time at all, because and I do not fault him because you have to have a bit of an ego in order of
success. Yes,
100%. It's a matter of how you use that ego, and if he felt, and do I think that in some world he would like to have been a performer? Yeah, I think that he also realized at one point that it's not a strong point. And I think that what he did was that he uses the stuff that he has. I mean, what executive, because of what he's done in directing, I mean, he's got he's got a big name as a lot of different actors, right? Sure. And he had that before he became the DCU head. And he is just a guy with a big personality and a big, funny and all those types of things. So,
right, but that's great and all, but like there are little things like and by the way, I want to turn the mirror back on people. If you were a fan of the Schmodown and you had an issue with my ego, but you don't have an issue with James Gunn's ego, take a look at the hypocrisy of that. So this is the situation though, when you look at what James Gunn, he takes these little shots at Marvel, Kristian, that are very interesting. And, I've heard from a few people in the business that there is a bit of a rivalry between him and Feige, and there are issues between, I'm sure you've heard that, between him and Feige. And so these little shots at Marvel, we're not going to do anything unless it's a finished script. We're not going to announce anything unless it's a finished script. We're not going to do so. Like there's these little things that he does that shows you that although he's great to the people on the set, he's great to the people he works with, he also has this, this desire to poke. Those tweets that he got in trouble for, 10, 15 years ago, those were pretty inflammatory tweets.
They weren't great.
Humor and all of that stuff, but they were still meant to prod for attention.
Right.
They were meant to prod for attention. And so I think he still has that within him, and he likes to bring that out, and there's an ego involved in that. That's all I'm saying. I think James is a great director. I love his work. I don't think I've seen a bad movie from James Gunn in my lifetime, so I've got nothing negative to say about him creatively. I just think occasionally there's an ego thing that pops up, and people get so mad when you point it out because they worship at the altar of James Gunn, and I think you have to have a healthy balance. You talk about me putting up dukes. I'm about equality, and I will call you out when you're great, and I will call you out when you're bad, and that keeps me level.
I know, but I feel like I don't know. I didn't hear you saying a lot of things about, like, over the last week before the reshoot stuff. There was a lot of pro positivity with whether it was. What do you think of Creature Commandos, by the way?
I loved it. Okay. I thought it was really good.
Okay,
but I do have an issue, which I brought up in our review on the Geek Buddies. I don't understand the gratuitous. What I see is the gratuitous nudity, the unnecessary nudity in the show.
You turn into a 70-year-old man.
I know, just saying, there's no need to see Alana walking naked, side boob towards the bed.
Says you.
Yeah, that's right. My opinion.
That's right.
Her being on the bed. This is clearly made to titillate 15-year-old boys who, and I think James still has a little bit of the 15-year-old boy within him. So for me, I thought that was a little, and I also found it curious that Rick Flag Sr. looks exactly like James Gunn without glasses, and Alana looks like Jennifer Holland with there. And so I wonder if that's an animated form of themselves playing something out there. But like, to me, I just thought that, because there's no need to see Nina getting in the tub, covering her breasts, and you can totally see her lower area. There's no need for that shot. So other than that, though, I thought it was great. The storylines were great. Yeah. The voiceover work is great. So I'm in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is what it is. I don't give a shit about that stuff. But it's like, but I'm also gonna give it to you, like, same way where we had our whole debate with the Olympics and stuff like that too. If that type of stuff gets under your nerves, who am I to question? I didn't have a problem with that at all. But I do think that he's going to be, pun intended, I guess, under the gun when it comes to once Superman comes out, because it's like, all right, big movie. He talked about in another interview recently that this guy is this, and we all know it. Superman is the staple of the new DCU, and it's got to hit. It is,
and I want it to be good. I want it to.
It's over if it bombs.
I know
it's over. Like before it even Creature Commandos or whatever. It's over. Like if it breaks even or just makes money, people will criticize it, but it's not over. But if it doesn't perform, I just can't see that. It's the most hype I've seen on a Superman movie in a very long time.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, though. A lot of people have been commenting this week after Creature Commandos dropped. You've seen some comments on Twitter and articles saying, okay, now we've seen another project from James Gunn with this same type of humor, like in Peacemaker, like in Guardians of the Galaxy to a degree. Not always, because there's a lot of sweet sentiment in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is great. So people are concerned that the Superman is going to have this element to it through the Authority or other people. So Superman movie, do you think this is something to legitimately be concerned about?
Well, I actually brought this up. I brought this up on Capes on
Friday.
The other day, and I've talked about it and even when I was talking to Frank Grillo, and Frank Grillo said that there's a tone of there's a serious tone in general. He's about the overall DCU with the mixture that Gunn brings in humor. And you're not wrong and it was one of my concerns, is that Gunn does bring a lot of jokes into this stuff, but it's just a matter of how it's balanced. It works for the Suicide Squad. It works for Creature Commandos. It works for Guardians of the Galaxy. But even in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it became a bit overbearing.
Agreed.
Because it was like, okay, when you hit the emotional moments, when you hit those moments with whether it's Groot, whether it's the stuff with Yondu, it's powerful and it works. It's then right after it is a joke from Drax, and you're like, oh, that just took me right out of where I needed to be. And it's like it's almost like the old, you get a car, you get a joke, everyone gets a joke. That can't happen in Superman, and I don't believe it will. I can't see Superman flying around cracking jokes. Jimmy Olsen will probably crack jokes. And then and Winston brought this up, and I agree with him. Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion's probably there to tell some jokes. But I don't think he's going to have a big enough part to make the whole thing. I can't see. You can see Lois Lane being, sarcastic and witty, and that's okay. You need that. But it's like, I just don't want to see okay, I feel like I'm in a comedy club, because sometimes in James Gunn's movies in the theater, you feel like you're in a comedy club.
Yes.
But yes, is it a concern? I think it should be. It's a concern for everybody. It was so it's the same thing before he took over DCU. He's a massive Knights of the Old Republic fan.
Yes.
He loves it. And I remember going, this is a guy I'd like to see do these movies. I'd like to see him. And why? So we could have Revan cracking jokes, Malik cracking jokes. That's what everybody started saying. And it's because that's what he has really built his brand on.
Yep.
What movies has he done that there's not a lot of comedy in it? I can't. I mean, I'm sure there is one, but I can't think of it.
Yeah.
And so having some comedy in Superman is not a problem.
Right. That's not an issue.
Overbearing is where it becomes an issue.
And that's about constructing a film, knowing where the button is, right? Knowing where to give, like Guy Gardner, the button in a certain scene to let the tension out of the balloon a little bit and go on to the next scene. So if he's constructed that correctly throughout the film, I think those jokes will land with massive effect. And so again, I want it to be good. I hope he's figured out. But the danger is also that no one can. Who's telling James Gunn no? Who's artistically going, look, you got too many jokes, or this joke doesn't work, or does he have someone doing that? I don't know.
Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But the thing is also, you can read, as you and I were talking about beforehand. I like to take a look in and see what people are saying as far as overall with the conversation. And it is sometimes that people don't listen, right? Because I think big blockbuster movies, I think humor is a necessity,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You get one guy like, oh, it was a dark cloud over his head when watching movies and watching that happen. It's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if it overpowers the movie and it takes away from what the essence of the film is, it sucks you out.
Yep.
Perfect
100%.
example. Ragnarok works great. It's got a lot of humor in it, but it's got an emotional story. It works. It pushes forward the narrative. Love and Thunder is a Saturday Night sketch that they should have thrown out that never went to air, right? That's the difference. So it's not a matter of humor being in a movie. You are incorrect, sir, when you say that. What you're not doing is using your ears and listening to what I'm saying about tone. You've got to have a tone that overall works. Humor can work great. It's a matter of how you make it work, and it becomes, does it overpower your story and just like, look how funny I am. You know what I mean?
Look, even in some of the most dramatic movies, you have these moments of dark humor or these moments of just human humor because of the insanity of the situation. And that's essential to kind of, like I said, let a little bit of air out of the balloon.
Right.
And so I think that's where I hope James finds the right combo, as you said, of tones so that it has a maximum effect by the time the movie's over. People should be crying by the end of Superman. That's what I think. People should absolutely be in tears or be emotional. And if you've hit them at the right spots, they're going to have a big, stupid grin on their face driving home.
People are mentioning in the comments about James Gunn made Brightburn. He produced it. He did not direct it. So, I'm talking about the movies he directed. Yeah. Because David Yarsofsky directed that movie.
Right.
So I am curious to see. I'm sure he's very capable of doing it. It's just a question of will he? We shall see.
Well, I think that's the reason he added these characters, Guy Gardner and the Authority. Yeah. These are the characters that he is going to use to put his humor in the movie. Like he added them on purpose, not only just to create a world where heroes already exist, but also to create a world where he can throw his type of humor in while also telling a very emotional and moving story about Clark Kent.
I think that's probably why. Now, if you want to use the people that have been saying that about me, if you want to use the comment, my next comment to prove that point, so be it. My favorite Guardians movie is the third film. Yeah. I feel like it's the least of the overpowering jokes movie. I think there's certainly humor in it. I mean, I think of one of the best, the first F-bomb in the MCU history. Right. There's some really funny moments in it, but it's essentially a pretty dark movie, right? Yeah. Like the stuff that's going on with Rocket, and it's pretty damn emotional, right? So, like, I don't want to see Superman get that dark, like that movie did, and I liked that movie got that dark. But I think that movie, Guardians 3, is a good blend. If Guardians 3, there's some things of Guardians 3, like what's his face,
Adam Warlock.
Yes. Like that didn't. There's certain things in that movie that doesn't work for me. Yeah. But Superman could have a similar tone to that I'd be okay with.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Before we move on, we got a lot of things to talk about here. Box office is coming up really soon, and we're going to get into these asinine Golden Globe nominations that everybody should be fired over there if anybody is even in charge. It was just a bunch of drunk people making decisions. I have no idea. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some deals. And the first deal I'm going to talk about is Mando. That's right, everybody. Hey, Mando. I love Mando. And I've been telling you guys about Mando for a little bit. Like, it's a great, great deodorant. I love it. And it just makes you feel good. It really does. And you can put it anywhere. You can put it on your pitch, you put it on your nuts, anywhere you want. And I wasn't sure how Mando would work. I wasn't sure. I had my ones that I liked beforehand, and I was suggested by some people, you got to try it out. I said, all right, I'm going to try it out. And it's safe to use anywhere in your body. Doesn't matter. It's the best. And it's created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day, and it controls odor for up to 72 hours. I love in the morning, I just know it. I see it. It says, oh, there it is. It's my Mando. I know I'm going to be safe. I know people around me are going to be safe. It's the best. You can choose from a variety of fresh scents. They have bourbon leather, Cloverwood, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, the whole thing. So there's a starter pack for you guys. It comes with the solid stick, cream tube deodorant, all that, and more. You got to head on over there. The link is in the description, and you're going to love it. You can control your body odor anywhere with Shop Mando And you get $5 off your starter pack, over 40% off with that promo code Kristian at mandopodcast.com/Kristian. Hashtag MandoPod. That's right. Use that link and you're going to love it. I've told you about Mando so many different times and I'm going to tell you about it again. So I hope that you like it. I hope you've been digging it. And I've also have told you many times over about our friends over at The Perfect Gene. You guys know The Perfect Gene. I've told you about The Perfect Gene, and I love The Perfect Gene. I absolutely love The Perfect Gene because, I don't know, for me, I'm always looking for comfortability, and The Perfect Gene does that and more. Because I think that I told you guys about them a little while ago. It was probably at least 6-7 months ago, and it's cold right now also. And it is the season for The Perfect Gene. Stretchy enough for second or even third helpings, soft enough to go full couch potato, and stylish enough to wear every holiday gathering. The Perfect Jeans are, well, perfect for all your winter activities. It is. It's just the best. The Perfect Gene has saved 400,000 men's nuts from suffocating in stiff, uncomfortable jeans, and the number is going up every single day. That's right. Perfect Gene. So I got them, and my wife compliments me on all the time. Another reason that I start really using them a lot, because I like when my wife compliments me. Perfect Gene does not stop there, though. They have T-shirts. They revolutionized the T-shirt. They always have free shipping, exchanges, returns. Perfect for the holiday seasons. It is time to finally stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans. You go to theperfectgene.nyc. Our listeners will get 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. Got to use that code BIGTHING15 at checkout. 15% off now for new customers at theperfectgene.nyc with the promo code BIGTHING15. You're going to purchase. They're going to ask you where you heard about them. Support our show and tell them that we sent you. F your khakis. Go get The Perfect Gene. All right. John, I'm hoping that, what, you like
Expertly delivered.
Expertly. Thank you. Well, listen, I'm giving you have all this stuff. You have Christmas shopping and all these things, and I'm giving you deals left and right.
Come on.
With The Perfect Gene. And, of course, man, Mando's great. If you haven't, you're stinking up the joint.
Stop crushing your balls.
Well, that's right. And don't stink up the joint. Get Mando. You want to talk about this disaster?
Yeah, sure.
What a nightmare. I always used to defend the Golden Globes because I was like, it's a party. It's just a party. That's all it is. It's a party.
Yeah.
It's a shit party.
Wow.
It's so stupid. I mean, the fact, who's voting over there?
I don't know. A bunch of international critics, right? And then some critics here in the States.
How do international critics not nominate Denis Villeneuve?
I know. Or John M. Chu. I'm really surprised by both of them getting snubbed.
That's also, so I'm going to tell you, I didn't even know that until just now. Hold on. Yeah. Let me see, and we'll go through all the, excuse me. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, let's get to all these nominations. I'm trying to bring them up. And then right now, John, so I can give you a breakdown. You're at 14 questions thus far.
14? I shouldn't have said shit about James Gunn. That's why I'm only at 14.
I don't know. You might have people who combat you. So
come on, bring it.
Right,
don't sing it. Bring it. Don't cry into your pillow. If you got an issue with what I had to say, send in some money, your questions, thoughts, and comments. Let's go. Let's go at it. Nothing is off the table. Let's go.
All right. With that being said,
14?
14 so far. All right.
Let's chop meatloaf. Go ahead.
Here we go. Golden Globes analysis. Where's the actual? Where's the actual nomination? I'm seeing these nominations. Where are they? Come on.
All right. She's my daughter.
What are you, Sling Blade?
I was doing Jeff Bridges and the Old Man.
Oh, okay.
We can't do that.
That's pretty good. Let's see. Where are the nominations? I mean, did the nominations came out?
Yes.
You can't find them.
Want me to read them to you?
No, I'll find them in a second. I thought I had them pulled up. No, Dark Horizons usually has all this stuff, but it's like I can't find it. And then I might have to have you do it in a second. But where is Moana 2? Quick news. What? Oh my God!
Let's go to Variety, man. Variety has them all.
All right, why don't you read them because I can't find these stupid things.
All right, where do you want to go? Well, tell me which category you want.
Just start with the
motion picture.
Yeah, sure.
All right, drama, motion picture. We got The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan picture. Enclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, and September 5th, which I just saw yesterday, September 5.
I started watching that and dug it so far. I'm going to finish all those, but so yeah, I really wish. Can you just send me the link so I can? Because I'd like the audience to be able to see it. I don't know why it's so hard. I googled it. I can't find the Google. Is that it? Maybe. All right, I think I found one. Maybe this will work. Let's try that one. Here, let's see. Golden nominations and or real pain. Unknown. Okay. No, it's like I don't need your breakdown of it. Give a breakdown on a freaking different.
You got to go all the way to the bottom, probably. That's where they usually.
Holy shit, man! It's like I don't need a full-on breakdown of all this shit now. I just need that. Gosh darn.
There you go. There you go.
Where?
You went past it. There it is. You have to always go to the end.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Right there it is. No.
Oh my god, I hate this. Just send me the freaking link.
I sent it to you. It's on text.
Stupid.
I sent it to you on text.
All right. Anyway, so the nominations for Best Picture. I mean, so out of the ones that I saw there,
Classy. Yeah. What?
I dig what what you were talking about, because I have Complete Unknown.
Yeah.
Which I really liked a lot. And I don't know if I can talk about it yet. I think I can. All right, there it is. Okay. So, and is that on the bottom there?
Yeah. You got to go just a little bit down, and then they'll have the breakdown.
Yeah, they'll do this because they know people don't want to read all this shit. Okay, best motion picture. Okay, thank you. Brutalist, I have not seen it. I'm gonna see that. Complete Unknown, dug it. I'm glad it's in there. Conclave, another one I'm gonna look at this weekend. Dune Part 2. Did you see Nickel Boys?
I have not seen Nickel Boys yet.
Okay.
That's either today or tomorrow before my ballot. I have to
Okay.
submit my Critics' Choice ballot. Yeah.
Okay, now the Golden Globes usually is like a mixture. You have then for the Oscars, you're going to have some of these at Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Nora, which everyone was talking about. Challengers, Amelia Perez, A Real Pain, Substance, and Wicked. Right? Okay. Best Motion Picture, Animated, Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Moana 2, Wallace and Gromit, The Wild Robot. No Transformers 1. Interesting.
No Transformers 1.
Okay. Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. What is that? Is that a new thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The best box office. Yeah.
I have nothing to do with that. Best Motion Picture, non-English language. All We Imagine Is Light. Amelia Perez, The Girl with the Needle, I'm Still Here. The Seed of the Sacred Fig, Remiglio. Okay. Best performance by a female actor in a motion picture, Pamela Anderson. Okay. And this is for drama. Angelina Jolie, Nicole Kidman, Tilda Swinton, Fernanda Torres, Kate Winslet.
Nonsense. Utter nonsense.
Who are we missing there for best?
I'll tell you, Saoirse Ronan is missing for either her work in Blitz or The Outrun.
Right.
That beats anything Pam Anderson did The Last Showgirl. That's a courtesy nomination because they're glad she came back.
Okay. And then best performance by male actor in a motion picture drama, Adrian Brody, Timothy Chalamet, Daniel Craig, Coleman Domingo, Ray Fiennes, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
Nice to see Stan in there.
Nice to see him. He's got 2 movies that he could be nominated for, so that's one.
True, right.
Best performance by a female actor in a motion picture, musical or comedy. Amy Adams, Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia Gascon, Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, and Zendaya. Okay. Best performance by a male actor in a motion picture, Jesse Eisenberg, Hugh Grant, Gabriel LaBelle, Jesse Plemons, Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell for Hitman?
Yeah, I know.
This is why I think I'm bored.
Already?
Yeah, I think I'm bored. Bored.
What do you want to do?
I'm just bored. I'm just bored with the. I mean, that's just anything else that people want to talk about with that. But we can discuss the. Oh, well, I guess the director is the whole point of why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So let's go. Yeah, let me go down. I'll get the director. Here's the director. The director right now is Jacques Audiard, Amelia Perez. Oh, perfect. Amelia Perez, I haven't seen it. Sean Baker, Nora, can't speak on it yet. I haven't seen any of these yet.
I thought Nora was great.
I will tell you this.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will love Nora. You will love.
I'm gonna watch all of them. I want to be up on all of them. Edward Berger, Brady Corbet. Is it Corbet or Corbett?
I think Corbett.
Corley Farget for The Substance, and Payal Kabita for All We Imagine Is Light. Okay, so I haven't seen any of these. So
Wow.
I haven't seen any of them. So
Okay.
what I can tell you, what an idiot I am. I've seen one of them.
Yeah.
The Substance.
Right. Substance.
It's a good movie.
Yep.
It is not better directed than Dune 2.
I mean, please.
It's not. It's not better. I can't speak on the other ones to say whether they are or not, but it is not a better directed movie than Dune 2. So people go, who would you, because that's always the answer. It's like, who would you take out? Okay, I'm taking out Brady right away. I've seen none of the other movies. I'm taking out Brady. And I probably, if I go through it, I might put Brady back in there and take someone else out.
You mean Coralie? You mean the substance Coralie?
Yes. Brady's the brutalist. And which he, from what I hear, that movie's fantastic. So he'll probably not only get in, he'll probably win. But no, I picked Coralie is who I would take out. But so you're with me on this, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, All We Imagine Is Light I have not seen, and I can't wait to see it. But I think that's an international nomination. And I think absolutely Dune Part 2. And Villeneuve should qualify as a French director to be a part of this, So it's just kind of confusing on so many levels that he always seems to get screwed over. That's the thing that's crazy to me. He's directing he's Canadian. Sorry about that, but French, obviously French Canadian. But like the level to which he's directing these movies is astounding. Yeah. It's David Lean, Hitchcock, Coppola type level of director.
Easily.
And I don't understand why he's always getting screwed over in these nominations or not winning. It's just mind-blowing to me. And so many people are like, Wicked should win Best Picture. And a lot of them are the same people who are like, no, Dune Part 1 should win because it's a Part 1. But Wicked's a Part 1, but people seem to be conveniently forgetting that. So the hypocrisy of some of these voters sometimes is a little frustrating on my end. But I don't understand why Denis not in there. Dune Part 2 is, to me, still the best film of the year. Easily. And I don't know why.
Easily. And I usually, and I still do, but a lot of times I like to respect people's opinions. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Of course.
But today I'm not doing that. Today I'm not doing that. Today is my one pass. If you feel that Dune 2 should win the NyQuil Movie of the Year award, you should have your I'm going to see movies pass revoked from you for the rest of 2024, 2025, 26. It means that I would never take anything you say serious about movies ever if you think that movie isn't just a brilliant masterpiece. That's only today. Tomorrow, I'll tell you, okay, listen, fine. You want to have a different opinion on it. I think that is a ridiculous take. And I, if you ever recommend a movie to me, sir, I will say no thank you to you because your opinion is nothing when it comes to the movies for me today. Now, tomorrow, I'll respect you a little bit more. But with the way that Denis has been pooped on today, I'm going to poop on you.
Poop on you?
Yes. Poop on you. Triumph. But, yeah, it's just a joke. The problem is this also is what I think is going to happen now. Yeah. He'll definitely get a nomination for the Oscars.
Oh, 100%. He better.
Yeah, but it means he definitely won't win. And I think he should. I think one of the things that's going to prove to be true here is that, one, if your movie comes out in March, you got a long shot winning anything.
Yeah.
That because there's just so much that comes out, and it is a recency bias business. It always has been. And the movie was supposed to come out at the end of last year, wasn't it? Or 2023, yeah. And because they wanted to put it in contention to get it in for the awards last year. And they just couldn't push it any longer. So they put it out when they did, and I think it's going to hurt it in the long run. And I also think science fiction movies and that type of stuff, they're still... Yeah. It's like, I think, didn't you and I talk about this? I was looking back, when did like Driving Miss Daisy, right? That movie came out in what, 88?
89, same 89? Year as Do the Right Thing.
Right. Yeah. You look at the movies that were nominated in 89.
Come on.
But my point of it is, they were all mainstream movies.
Yep.
Even if they were small movies, I know that the business was different at the time. I'm very aware of it. Yeah. But they were all mainstream movies that people, if they didn't see it, they'd heard about. Every movie that I mentioned on that Best Picture, you brought up like to my dad, my friends, your friends who aren't in this business. What the hell is that? Never heard of that movie. They don't know what half of these movies are. They wouldn't know what The Brutalist is. They wouldn't know what the Substance is. They wouldn't know what half these movies are. And it's like, and so those are the movies now that get nominated and win. And it's also, guess what? Why no one watches these shows. No one watches them.
That's the thing. We're in this place now, and I've seen some people stumping for Wicked, and I get it. And people are like, oh, it should be nominated, it should win, right? Which it won. I think it won. Yeah, it won the National Board of Review. But there are problems with that movie in the
Sure.
middle section of the movie. If you turn off your fandom for a second and turn on your analytical brain, there are issues with the middle section of that movie. I still enjoy the hell out of Wicked. I've seen it twice now. I really just enjoy the movie. But do I think it's a completely better made film than something like Dune Part 2? No. There's no moment in Dune Part 2 where I'm like, oh man, I don't understand the character development here, or this doesn't make sense storyline wise. I can poke some holes in that. No, I had no moments like that in Dune Part 2. And so I just don't understand people like trying to say, well, isn't that what should win Best Picture, the film that people love the most? And it's like, no, that's not the criteria. It's not the criteria. It's not. The criteria is which is the most technically incredible film and also creatively incredible film. And overall, that's what should win. The combo of the creative side of things and technical side of things coming together to create an incredible film. And yes, there have been films that have won that do not qualify, including Driving Miss Daisy, which makes no sense. But something like Wicked, I think, is a fantastic film, should absolutely be nominated. Like Barbie, right? Should totally get nominated, should get feted all over the place. But it has no business winning Best Picture at the Oscars. None. You know?
Yeah, it's just strange where it's like you just don't know. I don't know. The system is bizarre. It's a bizarre system on how it all plays because the people who get to vote on certain categories and don't. I'm talking about the Oscars specifically. Right. I know that it's different for Golden Globes, but I don't take this stuff serious anymore.
Yeah,
I just don't. Because and I definitely don't think that. I know this one. I don't think this one is. And I don't say this because we're in the. I do feel like there's a little bit more validity to the Critics' Choice Awards. I really do, and I don't just say that because we're in it. I really don't. You can believe me or not, but that's fine if you say, oh yeah, sure. But I do. I think there's more validity to it. And I do think. I mean, from knowing, I've never had one person try to influence my vote from when I've been doing this thing. I've never had. I mean, the studios will send stuff and do things though too, and send you, but necessary. But it's like, hey. And I've had publicists reach out and going, hey, just making sure you've checked out our movie because they want to be considered for it. And I think that to me, I wish it would be the standard. I wish that would be the one that people actually cared about the most. I really do. Because I think that they're the one, because if you look at it, critics in general, influencers now too, I hate to say it, are the ones that most people are looking to get their opinions on these movies to find out what the hell they are.
Yeah.
In general, if you tune into a show and never heard of the substance, and today's the first time you ever heard of it, you and I essentially just marketed the movie for them.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And it's like, okay, we're also going to be voting on that movie and whether or not we think. I'll tell you right now that Denis Villeneuve will be nominated at the Critics' Choice. You know he will be.
I hope so.
Of course he will be. There's no world that he wouldn't be. But I just think that the big awards, the Oscars are irrelevant to me. They're irrelevant.
Wow.
They're irrelevant. They're irrelevant. What do they do? It's the same. We have this conversation every year, dude, me and you. And it's like, put them on a streaming show, get them off network television. We're not living in 1983 anymore. Put them on streaming, ABC, Peacock, whatever. Put them on a streaming service, and you can watch them. You can replay them. You can whatever you do. Put them on a YouTube channel. Who cares? Sure. No reason to be and spend all that money on network and then complain about how your ratings are sucking wind, right? The other thing is, if I get we've talked about this again, and we've gotten to the same similar point to which I've agreed with you, depending on where and what the movie is about. If in the middle of a speech, someone is giving a relevant speech about a subject matter, if it's political, if it's whatever it might be, because it's pertaining, I made this movie because I wanted to represent this and this and this, and I was able to tell this story of this person because, and it's relevant to it. Go and use that platform for that time that you have. That's what you should do. If you win an award for best comedy and start telling me who I should vote for, eat a bag of farts.
Hey,
it's like I don't need. Hey, you won for playing a clown who eats donuts backwards and farts a parade, and you're giving me a political statement. Stop this. And it's why you do that on Twitter all day long. I think it's so stupid when people go, hey, why don't you shut up and act? Shut up and play basketball. Shut up, dummy. They're allowed to, if it's their own personal platform, and do whatever the hell you want. They're human beings. but don't do it at the Oscars. I'm there to watch movies. I'm there to watch stuff about movies, and if it's relevant, then do it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. You don't need to shoehorn it in.
Yeah.
Where it's not supposed to be, and if it's a film that if it's a comedy that is a commentary on society and reflective of what's going on in society, then yes, make your comments and what have you. But if it's like Zoolander 2, then I don't want to hear it.
And just over it. It's like it's a reason why the ratings go down over and over and over again. People don't want to see it, and if it happens again this year, you're going to see the ratings go down again. I guarantee you. Plus, nobody knows these movies.
Yeah.
The average person tuning in, you don't watch the Oscars? I don't know. I didn't see any of these fucking things.
Yeah, there is a separation happening for sure between the artistic films and the
because you don't have.
It used to be more of a cross section in the mainstream media. It's not happening anymore, and that's. But people need to stop crying about ratings. I really do think that. I don't mean like, oh God, where are the no. I think more like people need to stop caring about it. Like either if ABC is going to carry it, shut the fuck up, carry it. Don't even put commercials in it. Let it run the whole night.
Well, then put it on streaming. But then put it on streaming if you're going to do that.
Put it on, right, which we've both said numerous times over the years. Sure, put it on streaming so people can catch it. Well, that's how the SAG Awards are.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Do that. But if you're going to put it on network television, don't cry about ratings. Don't cry about commercial breaks. Don't cry about nothing. You're honoring film.
Yeah.
And it's very important to honor film. So I think if you put it on a mainstream channel, primetime, run it. Don't cry about ratings. Don't care about ratings. We're going to run it every year. We don't care about ratings because it's about honoring film, which is a very important thing in everybody's lives. So
you know what another thing though John, it is, and I don't know if we've ever talked about this, and I think you agree, but I'm curious. We're also in a time where because of the internet, because of everybody, you scroll and everybody's an Instagram star now. Everybody's everybody's a star. Back in the 70s, 80s, you're watching the Oscars. That was your shot to see movie stars.
Yes.
You didn't see them on the internet. You couldn't go to their personal pages. You couldn't go and do all these different things, and look. You wanted to see celebrities. You wanted to go, oh, that's look how so-and-so, I haven't seen so-and-so before. You couldn't rewind stuff. You couldn't do these types of things. And that was your shot to go watch them. That was the night. Now you're like, this person's doing a podcast tomorrow. I'll watch that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything has changed in that respect. And so you can see your stars wherever. You can see, as you said, on their Instagram feeds. You can Google their names, Google them, and they're showing up at multiple award shows now wearing great clothes and whatever. So yeah, all of that is moved away. And that's the thing, right? Everything is an exchange. Everything is an exchange. You want more access to the stars. You want to get more information about them. You want to satisfy your need for gossip. Great, you're going to get it, but you're going to lose the allure that they always had for you. You're going to lose the interest and attraction and fascination that you have with them. It's going to chip away the more access you get to them. And that's what's going to happen, right? And we've seen that with sports stars, celebrities, whatever. It's the same situation. I want to be able to do this. Okay, but then you're going to have to sacrifice this. This is the game now constantly. And people need to understand, like Jeff and I were talking about this on Hot Mic the other day. He's like, I don't understand why these influencers or why these people are writing articles and doing, and it's like, this is the game, Jeff. Journalism, as you know it, is over.
Right.
It's over. And social media has completely changed everything for everybody. And people love social media, but the other side is that there's all kinds of negative that gets attached to social media. So, there's nothing that advances progress that doesn't also destroy something in the process.
True that. Okay, so last thing we'll talk about before we head into the questions, and that's just the box office, which we cover here every Monday. And John, you jumped up. You're at 31 already now. Look at that. So whatever you did there, you jumped up. So now let's get to this, and this is the box office results thus far this weekend. Moana 2 hit 52 million this weekend for 600 million so far. 600 million. Got a shot to, let's see if, shot there. So then you got Wicked, 34 million. Gladiator 2 at 12.5. What is this now? I don't know what that is. The Rocha, the Rule Part 2. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what Part 1 was. Red 1, another 7 million. That one's hitting Amazon pretty soon. So Moana, Wicked doing some more business there, John. But what do you make of the numbers so far?
Yeah, I mean, again, the Moana situation is so fascinating because it's a fun film, but it's not a great film,
right?
And at times not even a good film in certain moments, certain scenes. Certainly an amalgamation of a bunch of episodes thrown together and sewed together. Even Michael, who's Michael Vogel, one of the biggest Disney apologists, very clearly did not think this movie was that great. But hey, clearly people like this world, like these characters, like to be back in this world, and it's certainly showing itself in the box office. And that's a good thing, because it means down the road when they do Moana 3, that's going to be very much a theatrical release, a theatrically focused release. And Iger coming in and telling them to stitch together these 8 episodes and bring in The Rock to do some voiceover work and add some more animation to it. You may argue about the results, the quality of the results, but you can't argue about the box office results. So in the end, Iger made the right decision doing this financially, maybe not creatively, but certainly financially. So, and I think this opens the door, thankfully, for a Moana 3 that'll be a theatrical approach
with
to it.
Lin-Manuel back, and Lin-Manuel will definitely be back. So I don't disagree with that and any of that, really. The only thing that I'm curious about what you said is that you said this is a bit of an anomaly, that it made the money that it made. Because of its, and I also don't disagree that I think it's an okay movie. Right? I know exactly why it made the money that it did. 100%. This, first of all, when it came out was the one thing. The second thing is I know why you said what you did, because you don't have children. I
don't.
Dude, there is nothing in the theaters. It's like, oh my God, finally something to take my kids to see.
Yeah.
And people like taking their kids to the movies, and there's nothing for kids to see, right? This was one of those movies, and I'll tell you, we had it not because of the Critics' Choice. I was able to. I've already seen. I saw it in the theater, but then I was able, because of the Critics' Choice thing. We have the app. I was able to see the thing, and we did a whole family movie for it. And my wife and my kids bundled up, watched the movie, and their eyes were glued to it, and everybody had the reaction that I thought that they would. My wife goes, "Oh, it was enjoyable, right?" My 13-year-old, who grew up with the first one, was like, "It was fine." The little one loved it, because she can't decipher inside of the way that we do. She didn't notice that Lin-Manuel was gone. I did, right? I thought that the songs, again, when they played this time around the second time, I was just like, forgettable, whatever, it's fine. The story was a paint-by-number sequel type thing.
Totally. Yeah.
But it was enough for people. It didn't have the people who could analyze it, the Vogels, yourself, people, in general that are looking at these movies, like expecting like the next great one, can leave disappointed, and it's fair.
Right.
But people who are taking families to go and see this thing, they're going to go, okay, yeah, I took my kids to see the movie, spent some money on it, and they liked it, and that was it. And we had a good time at the movies. And that's why I made money, because families could go out and see this thing and continue to do. And you had families being able to go and say, oh, there's nothing to see. Oh, we haven't seen Moana 2 yet. Well, the kids really want to see it. Let's go see it. And that's what happened.
Yeah, 600 million globally. And I think this one it seems like this one has kind of overtaken Wicked as the one that's going to hit the billion. It looks like Wicked is slowing down a little bit, a 57% drop from last weekend. So this is the one the families are taking their kids to. It is this one. And apparently Rohirrim is the Lord of the Rings is tanking internationally already. It's been released internationally. It is not doing well. So that might tank. So that's one less.
That's too bad, because I don't know. That's too bad. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. That's on my list as well.
Lord of the Rings, you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I got to check. One of the things I'm going to do is check the embargoes to some of this stuff too, because I don't know if I can talk about it in fully that movie yet, or I'm Still Here, or not I'm Still Here. Complete Unknown. But like both movies I really enjoyed.
Okay. Good.
Really enjoyed.
I want to see it. I'm looking forward to it. So but so there's one less thing. So Mufasa, if Mufasa comes out and it's not well received, that'll be interesting. Sonic 3 is coming out. So I think right now Moana is going to clean up, maybe hit that billion before Mufasa or Sonic 3 comes out. And then Disney will be set, right? And Disney will be happy with that. I mean, Inside Out 2 and Moana 2, or Inside Out 3 rather. Inside Out 2. Sorry.
And Deadpool. You're talking about
Deadpool Wolverine. They kicked ass this year.
That's $3 billion movies. Now, there's not going to be a lot of stuff for families to see leading up to Sonic and Mufasa. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to, because we have an avid watcher in our who's here every day. No, every day. Which and this gentleman is a supporter, and again, sometimes doesn't pick up on the words what I'm saying here. And it's like, I'm not telling you that animation is not for everybody. It's not my point.
Oh man, are you still making?
No. The person is. I'll explain, and he explains also why he's inside of the comment section, and I don't fault this person at all. He's passionate about it, and
sure.
But what I'm trying to tell the gentleman is that you can make a movie that is intended for all audiences, the same way that I talked about Agatha and anything. You're aiming at one particular audience, right? This Moana 2 is clearly aimed at families, right?
Totally.
Now that 100%. Does not mean that everybody cannot like these movies. Everybody can like them, but it doesn't mean that everybody will. It also means that there's sometimes when someone goes, an adult can go and see Moana 2 and very much enjoy it, yourself included, sir. What I'm telling you is that the majority of people will, what I believe, will see this movie and go, okay, well, I didn't love it as much first, but my little kid loved it. That's what I'm saying. So when you write, it's not just for kids. I understand that. I get it. I get everybody loves animation. Not what I'm saying. You got to pay attention to all the words here. And the words are that this movie is going to hit harder with children than it will adults overall. Some, maybe not, but overall, yes.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
All right. So we are going to get to some comments in just a second. I got one more for you here today. You know what? Before I do that, John, why don't you tell the people what you got going on?
Yeah. Outlaw Nation, head on over there. YouTube.com/John Rocha says. Head on over. There's so much happening this week as we get ready for the holiday, which is days away, 16 days away. Kind of crazy to think about how close we are to another Christmas and New Year's, Kristian. It's fascinating. But the Geek Buddies, we're going to drop our Dune Prophecy review today for episode 4. Then we're going to get into our Skeleton Crew review later on this week and our main show later on this week as well. Jedi Way is locked up for Wednesday. We're recording that on Wednesday as well. Spill the Tequila possibly happening on Wednesday live. And then today on this Game Time Sports channel, Wednesday and Marshall reuniting after a couple of weeks of taking off from the NFL to talk about the big games over the weekend. So that's happening on the Game Time Sports channel. But so much happening. And Jeff and I are locked down for the hot mic on Thursday at 4 p.m. PT. So come and hang out with us on the Outlaw Nation channel, youtube.com/John Rocha says. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you to John. And we will get to all your questions in just a moment here. But I also want to say with the holiday season, make sure you are getting the right gift. Make sure you are getting the right gift for everybody this holiday season, everybody, because this is some holiday gifting 101. Why you want to drop 2 or 3 Benjamins on a cooler that's going to get some of the time when you can spend a fraction of that cost on a bidet that your whole household will use all the time. I'm telling you, I swear by these things. A household full of holiday guests is a beautiful thing until you realize that they're all endlessly wiping their butts in your bathroom.
Hey-o.
That's right. Give your toilet a fighting chance and install a Tushy Bidet. I love the Tushy Bidet. I've been having them. I told you, we got them in the house. Even when we were doing SEN, I've been working with Tushy Bidet. And my favorite part about it is to be honest, I feel classy using it. I just do. I feel like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not an animal anymore. Swiping my rear end with Tushy paper that's hurting my butt. I just feel so much better than traditional toilet paper. I feel better. I feel cleaner. It's so much easier to install. It was a lot easier because I don't install things well, but I installed this one well. And right now, the Tushy Bidet is dropping deep discounts on bidet life essentials that'll transform your bathroom habits and your butt for life. Now is the time to back away from boring gifts and dirty habits to save on luxury lifestyles upgrade that you're going to use every day. So you visit HelloTushy.com to see this week's saving on bidets, bundles, and install it today. You go to HelloTushy.com/big thing and grab your deal before it's gone. And don't forget to give us a shout out while you're there. Give the gift of practical luxury that benefits everyone in your household. Go to HelloTushy.com/big thing for the best gift this holiday season. Tushy.
Ew.
Yeah, you got to get that bidet. So good. Yeah. So good. All right, we got some. John, right now you sit at 33.
Hey, 33.
So
Thank you.
Let's see what you can do here. Can you start off the week? People are always coming after John Rocha.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're going to see if Roxy can beat you again. She was excited last week to beat you. The Ultimate won the week. But you can't complain about being the single person anymore. Can't do it because she showed you that's not true.
Well, I can, but yes, go ahead.
You can. It's true. You can complain about anything. That's what you do. You made a career out of it. Haskell, 420.
What's up, Haskell?
Hey guys, getting this out of the way. I'm bummed the Soto. I'm glad that he brought this up because I was going to bring this up.
I was going to bring it up too, dude. Yeah, go ahead.
Soto is not coming back. In my opinion, stupid move by him, but we'll see. The Mets owner wasn't going to be denied and would have upped every offer we gave. You got to draw the line at some point. The director of the awesome film RRR says a new doc, RRR Behind and Beyond, is coming this month. I assume Beyond is its impact and tease of its sequel. And my 52nd birthday was on Saturday. Happy birthday, brother. You're one of the biggest supporters we got. I love that. Let's start with the Soto thing, right? So, this morning my mom texted me, and she's just like, get him out of here. Good riddance, right? It's funny because I don't dislike, I've said this, and I said this to my neighbor. I said this many times. And maybe it's just because the Yankees have always been the big brother over the Mets, right? I don't dislike the Mets. I went to more Mets games this year than the Yankee games. It's easier to get to. It's just from where I am, it's easier to get to. And I'll probably do the same next year. Now, that being said, if I went to the Yankees versus Mets, I'm wearing my Yankee jersey, I'm wearing my Yankee hat, I'm rooting for the Yankees. But the Mets getting Soto, it's because they have a new owner that's a billionaire, and he's like, I got to make some moves here if I'm going to compete. My friend, this morning, we were texting back and forth. My buddy goes, well, it just showed that the Mets are no longer the Yankees' little brother. I said, take it easy.
Yeah.
I said, take it easy. I said, when they win World Series, I said, maybe financially this means that. I said, because this proves financially that they can hang with the Yankees. This does. Financially, they can hang. Sure. You can't win some championships before we start talking here. Now, as far as Soto did this for the money. He clearly did it for the money because the Yankees offered him like 17 years or something ridiculous. And they offered him like 3 more years, just not as much. And he took the $5 million more. Is basically what it was. Maybe he didn't want to play for the Yankees anymore. Maybe he wanted to be the savior of the Mets. I don't know. But I don't fault him. I'm just glad he didn't go to the Red Sox.
Yeah. Which was driving me nuts that they were in play for this situation.
Yep, me too.
Look, it's fine that he went to the Mets, take the money. I respect that. He's 26 years old.
Yeah.
15 years, $760 million, and with escalators that could get it to $800 million. That's insane. I mean, I'm still of the time when
by the time the contract's over, he'll be using an escalator to get up the stairs.
But I'm of the time when Kevin Brown's contract was outrageous, when A-Rod's contract was outrageous. The fact that we have an $800 million contract, possibly in essence here, we are not far away, Kristian, from the first player to get paid $1 billion to play baseball, and that is mind-numbing to me that's a possibility.
This is the most expensive contract in sports history.
Sports history, period.
Sports history, not just
in any league. It's incredible. And so, look, the kid deserves it. He won a chip with the Nationals. He got us to the World Series last year. Maybe he didn't want to share the spotlight there and Judge, but he wants to stay in New York. So, fine, go and do it with the Mets. See what happens. Who knows? Maybe you can bring them a chip. And I agree. Your friend is ridiculous. They're always going to be the stepbrother until they maybe get to double digits. Wake me up when you get to double digits championships. Then we can have a conversation.
Yeah, you can't. I mean,
it's nonsense. And so, congratulations. But it doesn't mean it's going to work out. I mean, Bobby Bonilla, need to remind you of that contract.
Right. But financially, it did prove, though, financially, though, that they're in a different ballgame now. They're playing with the big boys now in financially. So they're going to, and look, and good for them. They need another player in the game.
Go ahead.
Mike Joyce. Yes, The Substance. That's a comedy. Monstro Eluse, and that ending is so funny. Golden Globe's going to be Golden Globes. It's like comedy. You can I get it. I get it. You know, it's way more horror than anything else too, but it is definitely satirical and those type of things for sure. I like the first 2 halves of that movie. I didn't like the end.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The end is very decisive. I think Jeff didn't like the ending.
I didn't like the ending. I thought it was very interesting kind of Black Mirror type movie the whole time. And then the ending just got so stupid. I was just like, it was like overly gory and everything too. And I'm like, oh, you had me. You really had me. Like they really had me on board. I think it's great performances all the way around.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It felt lazy, the ending.
Yeah. Kind of tacked on a little. So
yeah.
It felt very European, the ending. And I don't know
Yeah.
if that works for American audience.
Maybe. Mike Joyce, do you think that if Kathleen Kennedy was more like James Gunn on social media, the internet would treat her differently? No. Maybe worse.
Maybe worse. 100% worse.
Yeah, it's not the difference between Kathleen and obviously people always say the difference between Kathleen Kennedy and James Gunn is a woman and a man, right? Sure.
100%.
And it's
one of the differences.
One of the differences, but to me the biggest difference is in the same way that I mentioned, and it doesn't matter man or woman, what they need at Lucasfilm is someone like a Gunn and Feige who's actually a fan of this stuff.
Yeah,
like it's not a necessity, but I actually think it should be. I think that it's something that the understanding of it and going, okay, maybe I don't know necessarily how to do that, but I know that person does, and I'll put that person there because that timeline would be a lot of fun to do. And it's just the wrong. It's like I said, we were talking about baseball. It's the wrong coach. It's just the wrong coach for this team. Yeah. All right. Next one. And this one, we have 34 thus far as we're moving through. Can John hit 70 today? That's the question. Can he hit 70? I mean, it's possible. Look,
35 more. Come on. 36.
The Capes and Cowls guys were at 20 when we started the questions, and they ended up at like 79, 80 or something like that.
Wow.
Roman Fedorak. I saw Boy's Ambulance after hearing it was one of his best. I could not stand it. Whoever gave... Oh, sorry. I said Boys. I saw Bay's Ambulance after hearing it was one of his best. I could not stand it. Whoever gave Bay the idea to put his camera or drones needs to be fired. Hope you don't mind a bit of negativity. No, I don't mind at all. And I'll tell you, I am convinced that I have traveled. I have cloned myself, or I have an alternate version of myself, and I've given myself the Roman Fedorak because every time he puts in a conversation or asks like what do you think about this? What do you think about this? He gives my example of what I'm going to do. This time, he pretty much copies my opinion. I remember JT talking about how great Ambulance was and how it was like back to form. I turned it off after like 20 minutes.
It's a fine film. It is not anywhere near Bay's best. No.
I turned it off.
Fine.
Yeah. There was the same kind of schlock nonsense. Carlton Rudder, London Calling. What's up, Carlton? I bought the new indie game today, and it's superb. On James Gunn, please check out John's excellent breakdown of Guardians of the Galaxy on the Cinephiles.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good breakdown. So, yeah, people go and check that out for sure. But as far as Indiana Jones game, so many times during the weekend, I was telling you, John, that everybody got sick, and it was a weekend. It was a weekend. So, one point, I considered sneaking up to because the Xbox is in the girls' room.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to sneak up there because the little one plays the Bluey game. The older one plays Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm like, I'm going to download the Indiana Jones game. And I won't come down until I hear people start yelling for me, right?
Yeah.
I never got up there to do it. But that is one I am really looking forward. Not only looking forward to it for the obvious, I want to play an Indiana Jones game, but I hear everybody says how great it is.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, good reviews on it. I'm looking forward to it as well. I'll probably purchase it in the next couple of days and then rev up the old Twitch engine and put that on there. But yeah, definitely.
Dan, who says, can you please say The Mandalorian and Grogu? It's the most ridiculous title of all time. Understood. I know why they're using it, but they're getting about as safe as they can get.
Harley Davidson and the Moral Girl.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, that's all
like
it is.
that.
Harloff and Rocha. Mad Sinister Macau. Will Nosferatu be nominated for Best Picture? It could be. It could be. So. It should be, but I think it's too weird for people.
Yeah.
But it's going to hit my list. I'll tell you that.
It's in my top 5 right now.
Top 5. Wow. It'll hit my top 10.
I love that movie.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
It was really, really solid. I dug it.
And the weirdest thing happened, man. Like people came after me on my out of theater reaction on YouTube because they're like, why didn't you mention Bill Skarsgård? Why didn't this guy mention Bill Skarsgård? And the thing is, you record these right after you walk out of the theater. Sometimes I forget things or I forget to mention somebody, but it's not because they weren't good in the movie.
Yeah.
And so it was weird to see people like really hung up on this.
That was just the out of the theater reaction.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can give of that thing too. Yeah. All right. Now, don't get mad, okay? I got to read these out.
Yeah, please.
Scott Fisher said, "Sorry, Kristian. I feel like I got to dump Monday. I'm getting tired of Rocha's nitpicky BS." Let me tell you. Let me respond to that, because I will say this: Mondays are one of my favorite shows, and it's because John and I have known each other for so long that we both can. I would much prefer to have a show of somebody saying something that I can say, "Wait a minute, I don't agree with that," and then that person can go, "Well, I don't agree with you." And then we can laugh about it and get into the next thing. I think that it is healthy. I think it is encouraging for the audience to realize that conversation like that can still happen. And it's unfortunate that you're deciding that you don't want to join on Mondays. I don't believe that I have become nitpicky in your opinion. So why wouldn't you stick with me? Now, if you think that some people might think that I've gotten to, like there's one guy who thinks that I don't like humor. Well, John likes humor, so you stick with him. So, yeah, I appreciate you donating there, and I appreciate you having your thoughts being said, but I got to defend John there and say like that. There's a reason I have him on Mondays is because he heightens the show.
Don't be so sensitive, guys. Like, I have no power in the entertainment industry. I can't affect anything that you love or don't love. I'm just pointing out my opinion. That's all, and I'm not being arrogant about it or trying to shove it in your face.
I disagree.
It's just Kristian and I having it's just Kristian and I having a conversation. And if it offends you, I apologize. It offends you, but we're just talking like a couple of boys about these subjects. So that's all.
All right, Sahida K. Rings of Power season 2, not good. There's not much buzz around it. It's not a matter. I actually heard the opposite.
Heard it was good.
I've heard that it was good. I watched season 1, and because season 1 was not good, I said I'm not watching season 2. I didn't want to watch it. And I think that that's what happened to a lot of people. I think a lot of people said, I'm good. It just wasn't, it didn't, I'll go see the movie, the Peter Jackson one. And because I knew because he produced the animated one, I watched that. And that felt way more like the Lord of the Rings that I liked than the TV show did. So I just wasn't interested in it. And I think that's what happened to a lot of people. Because Steph Sabra did watch the second season, didn't like the first one, watched the second, and really liked the second season. Yeah. So I think that I think the damage had already been done.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah. Buster Barnes.
Hey.
Gunn has said that Superman is not an ensemble and is relatively serious. I have faith, but we'll see in July. Also, who is your favorite comic book character? Superman actually is. Okay. And that's because the Donner ones, my dad taking me to see them when I was younger. I always have very fond memories of Christopher Reeve as Superman, so it's always been Superman for me. Okay. How about yourself?
Like, favorite comic book character is probably Batman. And just to be lame right now, to pick an obvious one. But Wolverine, as I get older, Wolverine becomes a character that I connect to much more as I get older. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. So, and it's not Anthony Cheeseman again. He's looking. He was looking for some fights. He said, if you can give John Watts for the old man, we can give Gunn credit for Brightburn. No, John Watts directed the first episode. He directed the first episode of the old man. What are you talking about?
Come on, guys.
What are you talking about? And then he produced it and directed it.
Just like Skeleton.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Directed the first episode.
Yeah, he directed it. What are you saying? Buster Barnes. Okay. So as far as Gunn said, Superman is not an ensemble cast. That is, that I did hear, and great about that. And relatively serious is what we thought. Relatively serious, I can handle with jokes. Without, that's fine. You don't want the whole thing to be no light to it. I just, like I said, I don't want to see Superman mid-flight start cracking jokes.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's going to do that.
Inappropriate jokes.
It's right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, no mama jokes.
No. Julian Ramos. I watched the Christopher Reeve doc last night, and it had me in tears. Yeah, that will win a document.
I hope so.
It'll win. Especially as someone who's wheelchair bound, it really hit home for me. Oh man, yeah. So it's a very powerful movie. It's very powerful. It shows you really who he is. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. If only Robin and his wife had lived, it would be amazing to hear their comments about him in 2024. In retrospect, that would have been amazing. But you get so much of them in the movie. It's like they're there already, but it would have been nice to see them afterwards. So yeah, It's a touching movie. It's on HBO Max now, so people can
I
stream
have to
it.
finish it. You know what's funny is that so do they mention that his wife passed in the movie?
Yes, that's in the latter half of the movie, and the Robin Williams passed.
I think I don't know which episode it was, Sarah's show. We're talking about it, and I'm such an idiot because like I didn't realize that she had passed.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I didn't realize she passed, and I was like, and he's like, well, she passed too, and I go, no, she didn't, and he's like, yeah, she did. I was like, what? And I look it up. I go, no. I go, oh yeah, she did. And then he's like, man, we had this whole thing on it, and I was like, I felt terrible, but I was like, oh, maybe I should have finished the freaking doc too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Matt Sinister Macau. I have a WWE 2K channel with near 11,000 subs. That's awesome.
Hey,
Views are dropping. I want to talk about movies. Will it affect me? How often and what time should I post? I would highly recommend not doing it on that channel.
Yep.
I would highly recommend that. I tell John this. I tell everybody this.
Learn that lesson. It's a hard lesson to learn, but it's true.
Yeah, and I was guilty of it too. It's like even when I was doing the UFO show, I started doing the UFO show on this channel with really great results.
Yeah.
The UFO videos were doing so good on Tuesdays, and they brought in a lot of people, but those people were like, what the hell are you talking about James Gunn on Wednesday when you were talking about the Senate hearings the day before? What the hell is this? I'll tune in on Tuesdays. And the algorithm starts going, well, nobody wants to watch the movie stuff. They want to watch this. I'm like, oh, wow, this is really screwing up my stuff here. So I just created a new channel. The daunting task of that is saying, oh, but I already have a channel that has 11,000 subs. I got to start all over again. Yeah, you do. In the same way that I had like the Clips channel. I had to start that Clips channel from scratch. And I was like, okay, you're not going to be able to monetize it right away. You're not going to be able to do anything. And I got lucky because Robert Eiler had some really great clips about talking about Tony Sirico and other things, and they hit, and it was able to monetize the channel and get people out there to support it. And now that's a functioning channel. But you just got to work on it. I would highly recommend. I told John to, and I still think he should start that damn politics channel, but he should do that. You're going to separate a sports channel, separate these things. Separate them. Don't do them all in one thing.
And you got to do content consistent. That's a mistake I made with my sports channel. I only do one show a week. You got to do at least 3 or 4 shows a week, or 3 or 4 videos a week that you put up. That keeps the channel in rotation and people finding it. You never know. You might surprise you how quickly you move up and get subscribers on your film thing, because it's a completely new channel.
Well, because the algorithm is always learning, and it's saying, like, for example, like when I put clips out on this channel, it doesn't really push anywhere. But now if I started to put clips consistently, well, it would piss off the audience, is what I found out too, because they would say, there's only don't make it a clips channel, don't do it here, I don't want my subscription feed kind of overwhelmed doing that. But eventually the algorithm would say, oh, okay, clips, people are paying attention to these clips with that and that. But if you make like a certain channel for it, like, oh, they're coming here specifically for this, like, and YouTube's using AI also now, that they are, and it's like that starts to teach things though too, and it's like, oh, people come here for this, people come here for that, right? Like that's what it is. Like, so people are going to Matt Sarah's channel, like it's a geek out channel and things that he's talking about, right? And his episodes are doing okay. Him and me are talking MMA, and it did huge numbers because he's an MMA guy, right? So there's like these, I'm waiting for it all to kind of mix over there, but it's a process. Matt B. If the Oscars snub Denis, we riot in the streets. I might join you. Yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen. Especially after this.
He's been nominated twice, never won.
I don't think he'll win. I don't think he's going to win, but I think he'll get nominated.
He should win.
I think he should win, but I don't think he will. Armada. For Gunn's DC, I expect Lanterns to not have much comedy, despite him not making it. I'm also curious how dark Supes will be in comparison to it all. I don't think Superman's going to be dark.
No.
Serious is a different word.
Right.
I think it could be serious. I think you could, and I do think Lanterns they're going for that more true detective feel. Yeah. And it's a reason why Gunn isn't directing it.
Yeah. That's much more darker. That's going to be much more darker. Yeah.
I agree. Alex, as a Gunn fan and someone who is incredibly excited for the DC reset, other than the difference between reshoots and pickups, I couldn't agree with Rocha more.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Gunn takes veiled shots at Marvel a lot. Yes. I didn't disagree with that. I never said that. I never said that he...
He's just saying he agrees with me. That's all. He's not coming against you. Just saying.
No, he's saying he agrees with you about those points, and I don't disagree with that point that he takes shots at Marvel. I just don't think that he's got the sycophant stuff and all that. What you were saying.
I go a little far. On
that. Julius Wyatt needed Josh Allen to score 40 points on my fantasy football. Shout out to him. Was at the SEC championship game. Go Dogs, baby.
I got 61 points off him yesterday,
Wow.
and I won my matchup. I don't know. I have 2 weeks left, and I'm a game behind everybody else. So Josh Allen may have got me into the playoffs. We will see.
We shall see. Okay, Corn Emperor. I'm glad that you're feeling better, Kristian. I'm getting there. I'm like 75. I'm like at 75% right now, I think. But like, I got beat. You're gonna see it in the freaking. We did the reaction to Thor, which will come out this Friday.
Okay.
And the first one. You don't like the first one?
I like the first one.
Yeah. So we did a reaction to Thor, and I'm
saying the idea of doing a reaction.
I was really starting. You could see me. You could see me in the video. There was one point. I hope that they cut it out of the edit. I was trying to watch and hold back a cough, and I go like that because I was trying to hold it back. And I was like, oh my god, I hope they cut that out. So anyway, I'm feeling a little bit better though for sure. And then he follows it up by saying, for me, the substance is the best of 2025. It's a joke that it's under comedy. It better win from there, though. Yeah, like I said, I think it's I understand why people love it. I should say that.
Yeah.
I understand why people love it. I think it is a very solid film. I think there's great performances. It's a unique film. It's a different film. And I was on board with that movie in the first 2 acts as I was with what was the one I loved last year with the. Was it Pretty Little? Not Pretty Little Things. That's
Poor Things.
Poor Things. Pretty Little Things is the show. Pretty Little, but yeah, Poor Things. Poor Things was a movie almost like the opposite. Poor Things. When I started watching, I was like, I was going to shut it off, and then I loved that movie. Loved that movie, and the substance I started watching, I'm like, oh, this is going to be this year's Poor Things, and then the ending, I was like, but I don't know. Do you think it's the best of 2025?
I do not. No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay. Is Dune still your favorite? That's your number one.
Dune Part 2 is probably my favorite, but again, I haven't seen A Complete Unknown and I haven't seen The Brutalist, so we will see where I put those. Because Nosferatu was a late contender to get into my top 5. I couldn't believe when I walked out of the theater how much I love that movie.
Are you a big Dylan guy?
Dylan, like Bob Dylan? Yes. So I'm looking forward to this one.
I don't think it'll overtake Dune for you, but I think you'll really enjoy it. Yeah. Julius Wyatt. Shame that Denis is his only director nom is Arrival. I love Arrival. I love that movie.
I think he was direct. Yeah, maybe. I thought. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I think he was nominated. He was nominated for Dune. So
no, he wasn't. Was
he? Yeah, Dune Part 1. I think he was nominated.
Are you sure for Oscars?
I'm looking up right now. Academy Awards. Arrival 2017 nominated. 2022. No, nominated for Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, not Director. Okay, yeah. Fair
Again, so he got screwed twice. Right. Corn Emperor says, Rocha, when is your political channel starting? Get out of your funk and be the badass that you
are. We'll see. Yeah.
No, you kind of give up on it?
It's not. No, it's not that. It's that, you got to climb back up. And I'm starting to see more and more people now starting to comment and push back and have opinions about this. The more that guy lies about everything that he said he's going to do and not do, and the hubris of it all, and the fact that the numbers have come in and it was way closer than anyone anticipated, and the numbers in the House are closer too. So now I think people are slowly starting to wake back up and want to get back in the fight, and I think that's when the moment will be when I do it. But I also got to figure out how you can just keep your videos to yourself and how you can stop other people from manipulating your videos to push lies and falsities. And that's the thing that I want to figure out how to do.
That's an
I don't know if you can.
That's an internet thing. I don't think you can, man. I don't think you can.
That's the thing I've got to get over, because I don't want to help other people make their channels successful by lying about my content and manipulating my content to convey a false message about what happened in my content. So
anyway. Corn Emperor, support just for Rocha. There you go. Artem, hey John, how upset were you to wake up at 4:30 a.m. on Saturday just to see that Liverpool match got canceled?
I woke up at 5 because I have to wait for the Lady Outlaw. We watch it together, so we were going to watch it at 7. I was recording it, but I'm an old man. Sometimes I get up, I got to go to the bathroom at 5 in the morning. I saw just by happenstance that it had been delayed because of the storms, and I was like, okay, I guess we're sleeping in, and we slept until 9. So in the end, it worked out for us. We got some nice alone time, her and I.
I got a great story for you real quick on Maisie. The little one. She wanted to play yesterday. She's like, or is yesterday too, whenever it was. She's like, she sets up. She's like, Dad, play store with me. I was like, okay. She had this bracelet thing. She just wanted to make me a bracelet. I was like, okay, you make me a bracelet. Yeah. So she's like, she's like, what do you want? And I was like, a bracelet. So this. She's like, okay, which ones? I was like, that one. That was great. And she goes, how much? I said, oh, okay. So I drop in a penny, right? And so she's like, okay. She's like, okay. And so she's making it. And I gave her a quarter. She's like, gonna need one more quarter. I'm like, okay. So I give her another quarter. So 51 cents to make a bracelet. So she comes right back. She makes me. I go, it's great. I go, can you tie it up? She goes, no, I can't. She goes, no refunds, and walks away. 7 years old, making deals. She's like, you can't tie it. No refunds. It's the best.
As is. You bought it as is. You should have measured your wrist.
100%. Nerds engage. What is a movie that you thought was great up until the ending? For me, it's Dune 2. Really. A great, fantastic masterpiece of a film until the last 5. Oh, man, I loved it all the way until the end. I would probably say The Substance. I thought The Substance was great. And the ending just kind of ruined it for me. I was like, oh, that's where they went with that? They had so much more potential.
I think the end of Matrix Revolutions. Wait, you've been doing this over and over and over again? What was the point of me watching this whole trilogy?
Right.
That was the frustrating part of that movie.
Jim 1, fun fact. Denis and Sean Levy are both Montrealers.
It
is interesting.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Well, how come Denis speaks with the French accent and Sean Levy does not? I wonder.
JMZ 1121. First films ranking. First Blood, Die Hard, Terminator. For me, I'd have to, that's a tough one. If I was going to rank them.
Rank those 3.
Out of those 3 for the First Blood, Die Hard, and Terminator. Oh, man, that's so hard. I hate to do this. I hate to do it. Okay. But I got to go Die Hard, Terminator, First Blood. But I could change my mind tomorrow. First Blood would always come in third out of those 3.
Okay.
But plus the fact that I love the First Blood movie. I love it. Yeah. But the book is significantly better.
Completely different.
It's totally different. Significantly better. And Die Hard is just, they're both perfect movies, but I think Die Hard is more perfect.
Yeah. Die Hard is number 1.
Yeah.
It's just, you compare it to everything.
It's perfect.
Then First Blood, just because I love the military connection, and I think Stallone is one of his greatest performances. And then Terminator is third, because I think there's still issues with Terminator. It's a film overall, but it's still a fun watch. So yeah, that's the one.
Sahida K. Haven't seen The Substance yet, but do you think it would have made twice as much money with Angelina Jolie? Why do you think she doesn't do such films? Well, she just did. I mean, she just did Maria, right?
Yeah, that's what she was focused on.
Yeah, she was doing that. No, I don't think. I mean, do I think it would maybe gotten more buzz on it? I don't know, maybe, but no, it had nothing to do with that. It's a smaller, kind of weird film.
I would argue it did better because it had Demi Moore in it.
Yeah, she got some good eyes on it.
Yeah, people have a love for Demi, and they want to see her succeed over and over and over again. And now she's back with a film, and people can reappreciate her again. So there's a lot of people I think that would not have gone if it was Jolie. I'll be honest with you, because I don't think that Maria film is going to do well at all in the box office.
No, did it come? It didn't come out yet.
Not yet, but I don't think it's going to do well.
Artem, should MLB implement salary cap? I mean, professional athletes deserve all the money they get, but $51 million a year for 15 years. I know it's crazy, but they have the penties, don't they? Still,
yeah, the penalty. They have the luxury tax.
They still have the luxury tax. It's like, so. I mean, it's not the same, but no, they shouldn't do a salary cap. It would I mean, it would just change completely. And Major League Baseball wouldn't want that, because Major League Baseball wants the Dodgers versus the Yankees. Don't do it. And if there's a salary cap, it ain't gonna happen.
And those small market teams benefit from the luxury tax the big market teams pay. So that would just ruin money wise. It would make it actually less parity than we have now, even less.
Let's see. So I got an Evil John Madden quote. You want?
Hey,
you want
let's
it?
do it.
You want it?
Let's bring it, Evil.
All right. Hey, John, you're slipping. As
Why?
a champion of all things diversity, I haven't heard a peep out of you about the Santa Claus in the Macy's Day Parade or Santas in big Hollywood movies. Even Dave Chappelle said we aren't ready for a black Santa.
Well, I'm going to put a black Santa up behind me. So, Evil John Madden, you're going to have to suck it for a while. I'm sorry. And I don't watch the Macy's Day Parade, so I didn't hear anything about it. But I'm going to have me a Blanta behind me. So you better suck it, son.
Well,
Get ready.
Santa wasn't black. Mrs. Claus was.
Oh, Mrs. Claus was black. Yeah. Oh, interracial. Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sahida K. Dune 1 and 2, technically great, emotionally vacant for me. Wow.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to agree to disagree. Brian O'Neill. Loved Gladiator 2, but Lucius was unnecessary. Might have been better if Paul Mescal was Commodus bastard's son, and that's why he was smuggled out of Rome.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That could have been an interesting twist.
That would have been interesting.
Reclaim the throne.
You were not on the show when this happened. There was what awards was it? Talking about Dune getting screwed. And you'll be more pissed off with this than I was. I can't remember what list it was, but there was a list that came out that listed all the best films, the top 10 films of the year, and Gladiator 2 was on that list over Dune 2.
I think it was National Board of Review.
That's what it was.
It had Gladiator 2 on their top 10.
Look, I like Gladiator 2, but in no world does that movie get put over Dune 2.
No.
Ridiculous. You have your list revoked. But hard for me. Look, I think Lucius was necessary in the story that they told, but I don't hate Brian O'Neill's suggestion there.
I like his suggestion. I think it would have made it more intriguing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Armada, is Mad Hatter and Richard working at the Golden Globes? Armada, normally what I would do for you there is pop into a Mad Hatter and Richard impression in order to talk about the Golden Globes, but I don't think that I can do it right now with my voice. I can't. I'm literally trying. What? I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't hit it. I can't hit the note. I can't even do it.
Can you do voice modulation on your road? Is that possible?
No, but not for Richard. Richard's like, hey, listen, honestly, working at the Golden Globes, I said, Dune, I do not know why you're not putting it up there. It's impressive what they did with the sandworms, and I have a sandworm in my pants every time I see Mrs. Garrett on The Facts of Life. Nice, thank you, Richard.
Oh, hey, by the way, I spent an hour on Dice's Instagram.
Oh, I told you,
bro.
I told you.
I got 3 of my other friends.
Told you.
Hooked on Dice's. They're all 3. We had a text chain last night.
I told you, it's the best.
Like an hour.
It's the best. God. And you know,
take a picture.
I saw one that he did, and this is why I really love it. I don't know if you saw this one. It's a new one.
You got to get him on. You have got to get him on your channel.
I would love to.
Please, can I come on for like 10, 15 minutes?
I know. You know, it's funny you say that. I'm gonna actually write to the company and see if I can get him on.
You got to get him.
So this is the thing I liked about his Instagram, and I think it's a recent one, so you might have seen it if you were going through the recent ones.
Yes.
So there's this guy sitting on the bench, and this guy is not having a good day.
No,
he's not having a good day.
Beard, he's
just not having a good day. And Dice goes up to him, and he goes, "Hey, you the pitch," and the guy goes, "Leave me alone. I want to be left alone." And Dice is like, "Oh, all right." And he goes, "It's not the guy," but he doesn't bother the guy.
Oh,
he gives it a shot and realizes the guy's just not having a good day, and he leaves him alone. But he got enough out of it to make it a really good video. But he wasn't, because there's some of these videos, like you scroll through them on Instagram, and there's these pranks, and I hate them. There's just people being dicks, and and they get punched in the face. It's a prank, bro. It's a prank. You should be punched in the face with a hacksaw Jim Duggan 2x4. And that should be the joke.
It should be. Yeah, that should be the law of the land. It's that if they pull those pranks, you should be able to pull a baseball bat out
easily.
And beat them.
There's one guy, and he's so obnoxious, and he's this big, goofy guy, and he's so obnoxious, and he just bothers people in grocery stores. And then it's like, but he's got millions of followers, and it's like, that's what people want to see. But Dice doesn't do that. Dice is like, he just goes up and he's like, hey, okay, I don't normally do this, but, and he's like, but he's taking a goof on himself, knowing that people don't know who he is anymore. But now people are starting to, because of the thing. It's so good. Yeah. It's so good.
Him chasing the guy across the street. Hey, I thought you wanted to take.
Did you see the Seinfeld? Did you see the Seinfeld one?
No.
Oh, you got to find the Seinfeld one. He's chasing Seinfeld in Central Park. He's like, big shot comedian. Hey, big shot. And And then he goes, "Hey Jerry, it's Dice." And then they cut to him smiling with Dice in a picture. Awesome.
Cannavale was great in the restaurant. He recognized him immediately.
Yeah,
He totally blew up his spot.
Oh, so good. Brooklyn, showing some love for Rocha support. Yeah,
Thank you, Brooklyn.
53 as we got 20 minutes left. I don't know, 70 is possible, man.
Hey,
70 is possible.
come on,
All right.
17 more.
Yeah, I think you got a shot here to start it up. All right, next one coming in hot here, and speaking of that, because I mentioned Makuga didn't come on the show last week. We're still trying to get him in. On this Wednesday, I got Clark and Sam on the show, and they will be live.
Nice.
Ewok. Hey guys, thoughts on Wyatt Russell joining the Spielberg UFO movie? Fun fact is both he and his dad Kurt have their own real UFO sightings. That is interesting. I didn't know that. I would love to see more. I'd love to have him on, obviously, talk about it a little bit more. But I am very curious on what this movie is going to be about and how much they cover with what's actually been going on, if at all, in the last 2 years. I posted a video today. Ross Coldhart, who's a journalist on News Nation, he had a comment today that from things that he's hearing, he believes that 2025, his words, all hell are going to break loose in the first few months. Now, my video and what I said inside of that video is there's been a lot of that talk lately.
Yeah.
It's and to be fair, the guy in the video who he's co-hosting with says the same thing. Says, something better happen in those first 3 months. You're going to be held accountable for it, basically. Yeah. But if something big does happen in the beginning of 2025, right? His movie starts going into production in 2025. Let's say something massive happens. You got to change your movie if it's starting to be like, okay, well, look, there's something actually that was proven here. Or you just go into the fantasy of what Spielberg always did.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's going to, because, I mean, the wheels, I mean, the ball's already rolling. So I think he's going to do the film that he wants to do. Now, will he allude to whatever blows up in 2025? Probably. If something blows up in 2025, probably. But I don't think he's going to change his entire movie to fit whatever that is, or whatever that will be, because you can't direct a movie concerned about that blowing up necessarily, and how much of that's going to be true and proven. I mean, you got people talking about aliens underwater and stuff, and it's getting to where it's getting all the way out there, and so I think that's the problem. We need to kind of slow down, take it step by step, get those files released, get more of the information out there, then move towards where we're moving and find out what happened. So, yeah.
We'll have a longer conversation about it. All right. Go yes. Paul. Just showing some support. Korean Emperor, who says, on our way to 75. Oh, they're trying to get you 75. You got 55 so far. Crashing Coyote. James Gunn did Brightburn. That ain't a comedy. He did not direct it.
It's not a comedy.
He did not direct it. He produced it. We're talking about directing and writing. Did he write Brightburn? Might have wrote it.
Didn't direct it,
but he didn't direct it. But wrote it. Wrote it. Might be. Did he write it or did he write it with Dave? Can you double check?
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Did he? I'm wondering. Maybe.
By the way, it's not even a good movie, so I don't know why we're going crazy.
But it's not that. I don't think that's their point. Which the point is that he can do other stuff other than that. That's a horror. But I'm curious. Yeah. I think Dave wrote that though.
Brian Gunn and Mark Gunn are listed as the writers.
Right. He didn't even write it. Brooklyn. Breaking. Animation is for children. Stop that. Don't do it, Brian. Don't start a fight. Or Brooklyn. Gopal. Did y'all meet Merle through the Knoll connection? Or was that just a coincidence? It seems like you'd have been gone before he got there. No. We didn't. I didn't even know. I didn't know he went there. I didn't know Drew McWeeny. And Drew McWeeny went way before John and I went. Sturger was after us. There are quite a few people in our circle that were in, and I met Dan through doing Screen Junkie stuff. He wasn't even on camera when I met him. He was an editor,
right,
at the time. So no, that's
how. Who knew? Big Dan.
I mean, I think they all kind of knew how good he was on talking. But I actually gotta reach out to Dan because I gotta figure out when and if we're gonna do our show.
We're running out of time, man.
I know. I gotta reach out to him today. It's part of my.
Don't you big time us, Dan? Don't you effing big time us?
I haven't. He told me he was going to do it. I haven't reached out to him yet.
Don't make me.
Yeah.
I will fly to Arkansas
And beat you in trivia again.
I will beat you in trivia one more time. Damn it.
The Cali Kid. What are your favorite movie performances of the year? That goes back to what I was saying before. I need to see everything. I got to see everything. Right. But I'll tell you, Chalamet is up there with that Dylan performance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's up there. Cool. He's up there because it ain't easy to do Dylan, man. It ain't easy to do Dylan. Hey, when you gonna be an end? Hey, James Gunn's and a reshoots. No reshoots here for me.
Only a pickup bean.
Yes, now them having them. John Rocha gonna hate the rocks and moon. Troy Ortiz. What's your opinion? Nah, Troy, I don't want to do that.
No, what is it? Don't be. We can't be afraid.
All right. What's your opinion on DEE hires versus hiring the best people in Hollywood?
Well, you have to prove something as a DEI hire, right? You just because the person is of color or it's a woman or a person is a foreigner or immigrant, it doesn't mean it's a DEI hire. You weren't in the room, so how do you effing know? So that's the thing. I understand narratives, and I understand that there can be stuff to prove certain narratives, but you have to be able to prove it. And just because these people are a certain way doesn't mean you've proved it. So to me, you always want to hire the best person for the job, but you also want to be aware of what's going on overall with the situation. And you want to give opportunities to people who maybe didn't come from the best situations, the best educational backgrounds, the best access to things like that, and see what they can do. And you'll be surprised at how many people who come from crappy schools and make terrible films, and how many people come from crappy schools and make great films, or come from great schools and make terrible films. So it's all of a case-by-case basis is the way I would say. So.
Sahita K. Rocha, picking Batman, it's never lame. On that note, do you think that there's a ceiling for box office with Superman's character perceived lack of edge?
Basically, I think he's trying to ask if there's a box office ceiling for how much Superman can make because it's not as edgy as other heroes.
No, I think the opposite.
Yeah.
I think the opposite. I think that if you can, there's more, if you can get, as I mentioned before, if more families, if more people want to see it, if they can get that, if the wholesome feel can come back.
Yeah.
And people, because it all goes in cycles.
Yep.
There's only so long people want to see the wholesome stuff. And they're like, I like some stuff with an edge. Give me some edge. And then it's like, oh, this is so damn edgy. Nothing. Hey, I want some wholesome stuff. And then it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I think that we're at that time when it might actually work to do the wholesome stuff.
Yeah, I think we're at a place where we want it. And so I think it'll actually blow up at the box office if it's a wholesome interpretation, for sure. Yeah.
Pete Parker, 2288. You stand at 57, John.
Nice. Come on, guys.
13 away to 70. Can we do it? Time we sign off? I don't know. Pete Parker, 2288. Indiana Jones game is great. It's Xbox exclusive, though.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Troy Baker does a great job at the voice. Also, is it weird that I'm turned on by the bride? Which one? In Creature Commandos? No, I think that's kind of the point.
That's the point.
Yeah, they kind of made her sexy, right?
Yeah. I mean, they had her having sex with Frankenstein.
Don't say anything. Don't ruin anything.
All right, don't worry. Sorry.
How many episodes have you seen?
2.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go past the 2. I mean, I've got access to the other ones.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the Cali Kid. It's cool that Kate Winslet got double noms. What'd she get nominated for?
Lee.
Oh, Lee. And what was the other double nom?
I think it was the I forget what else she got nominated for. I'm sorry, I don't have it right now. Let me see. Is it Golden Globes? Okay.
I don't know. Evil John Madden's back.
Hey-o.
It's hilarious reading the chat and people calling me a troll. At least Kristian knows it's a joke. It might not be funny, but that's a different story. At least he knows it. Pete Parker, 2288. Will Gators get a bowl game? Plant that flag. I hope not.
I don't care.
There's one of the few teams. There's I think 5 teams, at least 4 right off the bat that I can say that I hate.
Yeah.
I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Gators.
Yes, agreed.
I hate the Red Sox.
Agreed.
I'm trying to think, who's my last one? There's somebody else that I hate. I hate the Patriots.
Agreed. I hate the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I hate Manchester City as a Liverpool fan. So
yeah, me too.
Oh, so Kate's nominated for Lee and The Regime on the TV side for the HBO Max.
Oh, right. Okay. Sahita K. Watching the stream with your. Oh, I hate the Astros. I hate the Astros.
Bang a trash can.
Hate those Astros.
Bang a trash can.
Watching the stream with your two faces interrupted for a YouTube ad for hymns was hilarious. No shade, none taken. Have a good day. Have a good holiday season, gentlemen. Thank you, Sid. Appreciate that.
You too. Thank you.
Appreciate that. All right, maybe we can at least close out with 60. We got 58 right now.
Okay.
Will Yoon says, hey guys, throwing in love your way and thanking you for your authenticity and your nitpicking. Thank you. We need more folks modeling good discourse behavior. That's kind of the point here. That's what we try to do. I think there's too many. Super positive channels, and I think there's way too many super hate channels. It's too easy to do that. So let me pick someone that I don't like, say how much I hate them, and then crack little jokes and do this too. It's easy to do. But in order to go back and forth on a conversation, have intelligent conversation with people, I think that's more important.
I'd be more willing to do that on my channel if I had a little more faith in the people who were willing to be on the other side of an issue and be open to, conversation as opposed to wanting to hammer their points home and that's it.
Right. The Cali Kid. I'm seeing Interstellar in IMAX. What are your thoughts? That'd probably be a really good one to see in IMAX.
Yeah, definitely see that one in IMAX. I like that movie. I know some people bash it or whatever, but I know it's a divisive film. But I think it's an incredibly well-made film, and it's worth watching. So see it in the best way possible in IMAX.
I think it gets better with each watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Artem, mean tweets, Kristian Harloff edition. Kristian reads mean tweets for John and Mike, and they react. I actually think John did pretty well today with how he did. He's in a good mood. That's why.
Yeah, it's true.
You can tell.
It's true.
You get John in a bad mood, and he tries to put his hand through the television. Pete Parker, 2288. Hot take. Live Free or Die Hard is underrated and a fun action movie. The jet scene is dumb though. The fifth one is garbage. Wait, it's the fifth one. The fifth one is the one with Joel Courtney, right? Yeah.
Yeah, with Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney. I always say Joel. Jai Courtney. It's bad. The Len Wiseman one is not equally, but it is bad. I've never seen the director's cut though, and people tell me it's better. The R-rated version. People tell me the R-rated version is better.
Something extra.
Oh, you've never seen it either, right?
Oh, I gotta find it.
I've never seen it. I've heard that the R-rated version is better. I believe it because I was very upset. I think that R-rated goes hand in hand with who John McClane is. He's R-rated. Mm-hmm. It's just who he is. Like when he shoots a bad guy, he F-bombs him and takes off. Yeah. It's like he's R-rated, and they took that away from him to make more money, and I hated that.
Yeah, I agree.
Unknown thoughts on Papa Aceto rumor casting as Snape. People seem to be in an uproar about nothing. So go back to our conversation. We brought it up on. I think it was on the episode with Steph, and we talked about it.
Yeah,
and it's like the bottom line for me is that ultimately what John was talking about before, to be honest, it's like, look, if you're casting somebody because they're awesome and their audition was incredible, and that's what it was, you get the job.
Yeah.
If you did it because you don't want people to scream at you on Twitter, then that's not what you should be doing. I don't believe that's the case with this. I believe this is a classically trained actor.
So this is a good damn actor.
Really, really good actor. So
yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know. I don't know how it's. I mean, we know how it's going to pan out as far as how people react. But it's one of those things, though, that it's also if it's a great show, people will forget very fast.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Steph De Agostini, aka the Marvel Man.
Hey.
Denise' mother tongue is French and learned English afterwards. Sean Levy grew up bilingual English and French. Look at that. The more you know.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying that.
The more you know. Jim One.
Hey.
Oh, what YouTube channel is that, Dice Guy? Not a YouTube channel. Instagram. Just put in Andrew Dice Clay on Instagram. It'll change your life. Jim One. West side of Montreal is English. East side is French. There you go.
West side.
Well, what's funny is that we're gonna try to get isn't that where that's where George St. Pierre is from, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Because we're trying to get him on to get that episode of him and Matt together. They're gonna talk Star Wars. That's a must watch. Wow. It's a must watch.
Okay.
And they'll talk about their two fights too.
Right.
Artem, does amount of followers affect your ability to invite celebrities on your show? How does the whole process work? I mean, it definitely has a thing to do for sure. Like it's because publicists also want to see certain things as far as so for me, what I'm as I'm been working on it long enough. Hopefully, you hope that the publicists that are working with it are familiar with the show and familiar with what I'm going to ask, right? Or not what I'm going to ask, rather, but what the kind of things that I normally do in the conversations that I have and those types of things.
Right.
So they know what their person is getting into when they're getting into the show. Now, I realize as I'm getting more and more into the game of the interview game that there's a process behind the whole thing. And there's also, like right now, there's a certain amount of people that I will get offered, and I'm getting really good names and things too. And then there are certain names that I won't get access to, or at least will not get access. I'll be lower on the list of the people that they say yes to. But the more you do it, you hope that, okay, look at this, look at this, look at this. And the more people watch the clips, the more people watch the videos. That's how, if you want to do your part and help, it's up to you. Watch the videos. And then you'll start to see that I'll get more and more guests. I won't say bigger and better because I think the guests I've been getting are pretty damn good. I just will get more guests.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agree.
Roman, you saying I am a clone of you is making me have an existential multiverse moment. Glad we have similar taste, though. I trust your taste on things. Yeah, for sure. It seems like it, Roman. He follows it up. Also, when are you guys seeing Kraven? So here's a bummer that I've been actually going through my own crisis on this.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to see it tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Is the premiere of it. I'm supposed to go tomorrow. But I'm still not feeling well. So my problem is, can I go tomorrow? Plus the fact my kids aren't feeling well right now, and my wife might need my help. And if that's the case, I might have to miss it and go see it on the weekend. It's going to be a play-by-ear type thing. You're going to see it tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow. Yes, absolutely. It's a press only screening. This is my life now. I refuse to go to any more screenings that are not press only. So I'm not going to do it anymore in San Diego. And if that means I don't do as many out of theater reactions, so be it. But at least I'll enjoy the process of seeing the movie much more. And tomorrow is a press only, so I'm going.
Yeah. Good. So Dan, I just wanted to say thanks to both of you guys. Thank you, Dan. And I always look forward to the Monday shows. Rocha, keep being you, man. We love it.
Thank you.
There you go.
I got no choice.
That's right. 62, my man. You hit 62.
Hey, 62. Nice.
See, I told you, not too far away. You almost hit 70, and that's
Almost.
pretty damn good. Corn Emperor, Old Man Rocha, I'm glad that your co-host didn't agree with you on CCs. What's that?
Creature Commandos.
Oh, okay. So what they liked it?
On Geek Buddies. Yeah, Mike and I had a battle about it because Mike was like, well, how come you're okay with nudity in live action stuff? And we just went back and forth. I said it's about context. And so we came to an agreement or an understanding, I think we came to. But it was a good debate, I thought, over that kind of stuff. I like debating with people. Yeah. I like it. I enjoy it.
So basically Mike was right and you were wrong. That's what you're saying.
No, he was not.
He usually is.
We both gave in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Julius Wyatt. Rank the Denis films: Arrival, Dune, Scenario, BR, and Prisoner. What's the BR one again? People always, you gotta, the abbreviation. Blade Runner. Thank you. For me, I would go, and Dune you're counting as one movie.
You'd have to.
If you're counting it as one movie, then I'd have to put Dune 1 and 2 as the first. Okay. Then I would put Arrival. I know you won't agree with that. Then I would put Sicario. Then I would put Prisoner, and then I would put Blade Runner.
Yeah, so I definitely would have Dune Part 2 at number 1, or Dune Part 1 and 2 at number 1. I would put Sicario next. Yeah. Then Blade Runner 2049, then Arrival, then Prisoners.
I think Arrival is the most accurate version, though, of what time travel is, as far as like science, what could with consciousness and all that stuff. And I loved it. I just loved it. Elalvin. Hey guys, I just canceled my Peacock subscription since the WWE is now going to Netflix. Are you going forward for the move and future programming? But who's doing their PLEs?
I think it's going to be on Netflix because they just announced. Really? They just announced Royal Rumble on Netflix on February 1st on their social media.
So you don't have to pay for, if you have Netflix, you just get it.
Yep.
Wow, that's game changing stuff. So they're getting all their PLEs. Netflix is. Yeah. See you later. Oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought they were just getting Raw.
No.
They're getting all of their PLEs too?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's oh my god, Netflix. Netflix is very say what you. I mean, now you got to really you better get your shit together, Netflix, when it comes to the stuff that they live streaming that happened at that. Yeah. All right, Captain Penis has Rocha used the Via promo code. Have you? Are you a THC guy?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't do that stuff. I did it in the past. I stay away from that stuff now. And no offense to anybody who does it. It's just not something that I don't think I can do at this age of my life. That's what I would say.
Oh man, you Via, Ghost gummies for sleep, wonderful stuff.
All right, maybe I'll try because I have trouble sleeping sometimes.
I'm telling you, it's a gummy, and you pass out. You have wonderful dreams, and you know it's. I'm telling you, dude, it's my favorite part of it. I say it in every promo that I talk about it with, because they say, you know, what's your favorite part of it, and it's like there's a lot of it, but Via the sleep stuff, it's called Dreams on there.
Oof.
Nice. A+. All right, that's it. 62.
Oh,
call it a Monday.
Thank you.
All right, locked in. 62. John, all right, you're out. Where can they find you?
Yeah, guys, you can find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. My YouTube channel, please come on over. Have some fun with our breakdowns, analysis, and debates there on the Outlaw Nation. YouTube.com/John Rocha Says. Please come on over and hang out. Thanks, Kristian. Much love. I'll see you next time, man.
Thank you to John. Thank you to you guys. Thanks, man. Thank you to all you guys. And make sure that you go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify, go to anywhere podcasts are found. We have our Clips channel. We have all this different stuff. You want to support the show. Not only can you be a member, we saw a lot of great members in here today. Thank you, everybody who put super chats in if you have questions. But you can help the show out and help yourself out by getting one of our wonderful sponsors, as I mentioned today. And Indiana, cut it out, because you can also get non-THC. That's the beauty of Via. So stop your preaching. We don't need it there. Thanks for being here, everybody. I really appreciate you so much. And that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow with Roxy. And I don't know who else. It might just be Roxy. That's it. See you guys. Appreciate it. I'll fix the sign on the wall.